So welcome to the Cinnamon Life Presents podcast. We're here at the Arabian Travel Market in Dubai, and I'm very excited to have our very own Alessandro Aldo Cabella here with us, the Senior Vice President, General Manager of Cinnamon Life.
Thank you, Michael.
Great to have you here, Alex. How are you doing?
Likewise, very pleased to be here today with you.
Fantastic. How have you found the show so far?
So far, the show is amazing. I think that our stand is definitely the best.
Yeah.
It sticks out from the competition. I think that Four Seasons are lucky to have us next to them to promote them more.
Absolutely, and I believe we have better coffee as well. Right?
The coffee definitely is better than the Four Seasons stand.
Fantastic. Alex, I mean, you're no stranger to Dubai. You have been here many times.
Yes.
You've lived here.
Yes.
How does it feel to be back? Now living in Colombo, how does it feel to be back here in Dubai?
Dubai is always good to come back to Dubai, but I'm personally very much attached to Sri Lanka now that I moved there for 5 years ago. I was in Dubai for 10 years, but since I've moved to Sri Lanka, I don't feel any homesickness from Dubai.
So just on that, I mean, Sri Lanka, Colombo, of all places, what brought you in? You have an illustrious career. You've touched a lot of brands, and then you come here. You join Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, and obviously this amazing project that you've been steering. Tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Cinnamon.
What brought me to Cinnamon, first of all, is the country, the sense of culture, the sense of hospitality of Sri Lanka. The last 5 years, not only professionally but personally, have been wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, by bringing this $1.3 billion amazing project, is really changing the entire destination, not only of Sri Lanka, but putting Colombo on the map.
Absolutely.
And for me, furthermore, to come to Sri Lanka was to do another Marina Bay Sands.
Yes.
I did a Marina Bay Sands not too far, 3 hours away in Singapore in my old days with Las Vegas. And when I heard that you were doing something similar, it was impossible to say no, to do one more of those.
So it's in your blood. It's the passion of the big challenge of the integrated resort.
That is correct, Michael.
So how do you feel, Alex, now about the recent news about us collaborating, the partnership that we have with City of Dreams and Melco? How does that fit into your past and your current and future?
It just, in my opinion, it just finishes the Lego.
Yeah.
We have a $1.3 billion, 800 keys, multiple food and beverage outlet operation, convention center, spa, wellness program, and so forth. But we needed this casino, we needed this entertainment, this gaming that's really going to finish the entire integrated resort.
Fantastic.
And deliver it as an entertainment destination. And Colombo will be brought into the map.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know you well, personally and professionally. I've had the honor of working with you for a good 5 years now. This has been a project in the making for some time.
That is correct.
And Cinnamon has obviously grown and developed over this time as a company and as a brand. But tell me a little bit about that journey. You know, that journey from arriving in to Colombo at a project stage where obviously we'd moved forward. The building was there as a construction site. What has the journey been like, and how does it differ from your MBS days?
The journey has been wonderful. 5 years ago, I remember that you and I were walking the site like if it was yesterday.
That's right.
Since then, we've done wonders. We started by putting together over $40 million of amenities, OS&E equipment, and so forth. We went all the way in detail, thanks to your background in food and beverage, to help us to develop the best food and beverage concepts that we have. We've developed together, you and I, 5 amazing specialty restaurants with a sense of place, a sense of culture. The outlets are conceptualized at 100%, not only about the food quality, about the beverage, but the uniform, the entire interior design, the music, the lighting, the selection of the chefs that we're bringing in for every single outlet makes all these outlets winners, and that can only bring something more to Colombo.
Yes.
As Colombians, I call them Colombians, they love going out.
Yeah.
And everything that we're bringing to the city of Colombo is way above what Colombo had, and it only can increase to the offering for incoming tourism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the journey has been amazing working with you. It's been fantastic because at the same time, Cinnamon Life started integrating into Cinnamon Hotels and Resort.
Yes.
Not like a detached project, but a combined project of Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts.
Yeah, well, no, likewise, it's been a great journey. And I mean, you know, for us, I can tell you just from my perspective, when I arrived, we were talking about cinnamon life and what we wanted to be, and there was a lot of reference to
Yes.
to Marina Bay Sands
Yes.
and what they had managed to do.
Yes.
And so it made absolute perfect sense to
Right.
say, well, who opened MBS?
Yes.
And it was none other than yourself. And I think that the passion and drive that you've put into this project has
Thank
been
you.
exceptional and
Thank you.
and very, very special
Thank
to
you.
be working with you.
Thank you, Michael.
And I think one of those aspects and elements which is very different to what properties generally do today, and being here in Dubai, a lot of hotels these days they take third-party restaurants in
Yes.
to drive their F&B operation.
Yes.
As you touched on, we've developed all of our concepts, restaurants and bars that we have internally, but running them very, very, separately and independently.
Yes.
How do you feel, having been in the business for a long time, where everybody used to run their own F&B in the beginning, then this third-party era came in, and we're taking it sort of back to the roots where hotels run restaurants
Their
and run
own.
F&B. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about that.
I come from the old school, almost touching 60 years old, and I remember the days.
Oh, you don't look a day over.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting. No, the old days when we all started, every hotel was running their own F&B. Then we went through the era that everything had to be outsourced.
Yeah.
Then we went through the phase that everybody had to have a star Michelin-rated restaurant and so forth. And I think we lost a bit in touch what exactly our customers want.
Yes.
And
yes.
you and I developed something unique that goes well with the Colombo market, the Colombo requirements, and also now that we are together with Melco,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
manicured outlets are perfectly for a gaming operation.
Yeah.
And what makes our outlets even better is that they are all small boutique outlets that will all be run on a standalone unit concept. So when you will
Yeah.
come to our Indian restaurant, our Chinese restaurant, our French bistro, our Staten Steakhouse, yes,
Yeah.
you will be within Cinnamon Life walls, but you'll feel like you're going to be dining at a standalone outlet.
That's fantastic.
And that's what makes the difference of our requirements in the industry nowadays. Customers want to feel that they're not going to a hotel for dinner, they're going to a restaurant. And there's no need to have a big name behind it. There's no need for 3-star Michelins, 2-star Michelins, and 1-star Michelin. The importance is a sense of hospitality,
Yeah.
the respect of the culture of the food itself,
Yeah.
and a general manager of each restaurant, like we will have a general manager for each restaurant that treats these outlets like their own personal outlet.
Yeah, and I think that's
Yeah.
that's ultimately the most important part, right? How you drive restaurants. It's not about who's running the restaurant,
Yes.
but it's how you drive the restaurants. And I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
we changed from doing that very well some time back. And then this trend of bringing in, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with bringing in great, strong restaurant concepts into hotels.
Yes.
But I believe that if you want to do it, you need to do it right.
Very
You need
true.
to look independently into those concepts and drive the concepts forward like that. And I think what you've established has been great.
Thanks.
What kind of interest have you seen from around the world? Obviously, we're predominantly Sri Lankan. I think there's only a handful of expatriates or
Correct.
so working, and that's
Yeah.
sort of what you've wanted.
Yes, yes.
What kind of interest have you seen from an employment perspective,
Amazing.
both from within Sri Lanka but also outside from around the world?
That's a very good question, Michael. The first part of the answer is that yes, I believe strongly in Sri Lankan hospitality and Sri Lankan staff, colleagues, because all around the world where I've worked before, such as Mauritius, the Maldives, in Dubai, Sri Lankan nationals have always shown to have a better natural approach to service,
Yeah.
which makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when you interviewed me in the days and you said, oh, coming to Sri Lanka, for me it was a no-brainer because
Yeah.
I had thousands of employees from Sri Lanka in my days with One and Only
Yeah.
being at the top of the food chain in terms of small boutique resorts.
Yeah.
I'd say, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
To that effect, so what we're doing...
And I have to say that was one of the reasons what really gave me positively surprised me, because with your background and and numerous hotels that you've opened and the brands that you've been associated with, that you were just so extremely open about wanting to embrace Sri Lanka and the culture,
Absolutely.
and really bringing something that is Sri Lanka. And again, our purpose is to bring the best of Sri Lanka to the world with style and elegance, and you certainly embrace that. So that's great that you stand true to what you said back in the day. Please continue.
No, the other element, I always like to produce people. I know maybe it's not the right word, but I like to produce people. Our journeys throughout the world is to go to destination, and once we are done with our journey, to leave with a sense of achievement. Opening a hotel, you and I together probably did 25 if we combine them.
Yes.
But what I always remember is when I go and move to another location is the people that we have developed. And that's why in every food and beverage outlet of Cinnamon Life, for example, we must bring in the chef from the corresponding country. An Indian restaurant has to be having an Indian chef, like a French, like an American. But that's where it ends, because the responsibility of those few expatriates that we brought in is not only to deliver a good job, but to prepare a transition and to prepare people to take over from them. And that's what I call a winning journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a point to come in and cook well and then leave. No. It's a point of having developed 3-4 people that can take over from them.
And that's a very good point. I often say, it's not when people use the word expat, you're not looking for expats, you're looking for experts. And you're looking for experience, right?
That is correct.
And the team that you brought in, they have an ability to share their experiences and to drive this and instill this into their teams who are predominantly Sri Lankan, to give them the type of experience that they need to then take the baton and move on, in their careers and lives within Sri Lanka, but also overseas. And this is a big responsibility that we have,
that is true.
And certainly that I have as the CEO of Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, to sort of establish a brand that can represent itself not only within Sri Lanka but throughout the world. So this is great that you're taking that forward. But just touching a little bit on that, Alex. I mean, obviously you've come in. I've seen you from the sidelines. You're very much a father figure to the amazing team that you put together. I think there's 1,000+ people now.
Yes, we are 1,400. And one element I forgot to answer to your first question was how much interest. So far, as of this morning, I received online the updates. We have had close to 19,000 CVs applications.
That's extraordinary.
19,000.
That's amazing.
And not only from Sri Lanka, from about 15 different countries. With majority of Sri Lankans wanting to come to us. And now that we have developed as this complex as an integrated resort with gaming and so forth, the phones have been ringing non-stop since last week when you announced our association with Melco. It's been crazy. So it shows that everybody's talking about us.
That's fantastic. Yes. No, and I mean, I think you've had a very out-of-the-box way in which you're looking at hiring. You believe very much in the driving of passion, and the driving of people, the will to want to deliver hospitality.
Absolutely.
And just on that note a little bit, Alex, I mean, that will to want to be in hotels and hospitality. I remember my days of hotel school, which unfortunately is quite some time ago.
Not as far as me.
But what you look at, and when you look back at who actually continued in the industry, it's extraordinary how many people drop out of the hospitality and hotel business. And I think it's one of those industries that when you go into it, you go in wide-eyed looking at what you want to be associated with, because you may have experienced it as a guest or just walking into hotels or walking into restaurants. But the reality is that irrespective, unlike some other industries, irrespective of what you learn in hotel school and in university, you must always start at square one.
That is correct.
And what you learn, the base of what you learn in school, is something that will help you into the future and grow into the future. So you find people saying, well, why, when I have studied so hard in our case in Switzerland, and then we have to go back to being a waiter or in the pot wash. But that's just the reality of the show.
That is
and it's the passion, the drive that drives you into a career. So on that note, Alex, and with all your experience, what would you tell the young people that are listening to this podcast now? What do they need, and what should they do? And what would you as an old fox in the business, what would you say are, let's say, the 3, 4, or 5 key points that you need to get on the horse of hospitality?
First of all, I refer to myself where my dad wanted to ensure that I was really interested in the hospitality industry. So before going to a hotel school and spending all his money, he wanted to be sure that I liked the industry. So he had me work at the Sheraton Hotel in Singapore back in the early 80s as an apprentice in the kitchen and in stewarding.
Yeah.
So obviously I found myself chopping chilies and onions and opening beefs and going home smelling like garlic, and I still loved it. So I said, yes, I still do love it. And then the hospitality industry turned around, and my advice to the youngsters is to understand that you don't learn the hospitality in hotel schools. Hospitality is not like going to dental school that you know how to proceed with all the different procedures. Hospitality comes from the heart.
That's right.
You can be very successful without going to a hotel school. But the experience is what it counts. So the 4 main advice I will give a kid of 18, 21 years old is that don't go to hotel school now. Try to work to different aspects of the hospitality in 4 regions of the world. Ensure you embrace the Middle East.
And understand it
Understand it. The sense of hospitality of Asia, the running the business of the Americas, the European base where the hotel industry started.
That's right.
And once you know all that, then probably go to a school to refine yourself in the world of finance and marketing, because nowadays it's finance and marketing. You don't learn anything in hotel school in terms of food and beverage operation. You learn it when you are on the job, as long as you have a leader in the hotel that teaches you and pushes you forward.
That's right.
That would be my advice to the kids.
And it's great that you say that, because I mean, me being back in Dubai, I've lived and worked in Dubai in the past, but I had my first association with Dubai back in 1985, actually. I have 2 brothers who are in the hotel business, and in '85 they were working here at the Hyatt Regency in Dubai. And there was much more sand than there was grass at the time. And I said that at the age of 15 that I want to also go into hotels. So they told me, okay, we'll come over, and the GM at the time was a good friend of my father's, who was in the airline industry, so we had a lot of association. And I went, and when everybody was off in a summer, I went and worked at the Hyatt Regency in Dubai here in 1985. I was 15 years old. Tells you my age, but hey, so be it. And I was working. I worked in the cold section. I worked in the butchery. And I worked in the back of house. And it kind of set a tone for me to understand. But I think what really, just adding on to what you were saying, was that camaraderie that you have within a hotel. If you're working in food and beverage, for example, and you got to work weekends, and I didn't have a Christmas off for I think 15 years, I don't know. But it's this extraordinary feeling, sense of being part of a different world, of a different space and place, and the camaraderie that comes around hotels and hospitality that drives you to want to continue. And it's a wonderful career, I would say, and obviously
I would never do something else, I guess.
That's great. So just on to sort of wrapping this up, and it's been great sitting here talking to you, Alex, and who knows, Mike. We're here for a few days, so maybe we can sit down again. We're excited because this is like the launch of our Cinnamon Life podcast, so really great to just hear your candid perspective on so much of this. But now with Cinnamon Life coming up, what would you kind of want to say to the people coming to your hotel and people coming to Colombo and coming to Sri Lanka? Why should they come? What is excited about Colombo? What is excited about Sri Lanka? What's exciting about Cinnamon and Cinnamon Life? I
think that we are changing the face of hospitality in Colombo. Colombo was always seen before us a destination of landing and going to the beauties of Sri Lanka, the Yala Park, the elephants, the collection of superb leopards, the tea plantation, the beaches down in Bentota. But now we with our project, we managed to really put Colombo on the map. So people must stop in Colombo. We have 1,700 amazing colleagues that I call rock stars. We just named them all rock stars to make it fun. People will have an experience.
So that makes you like Mick Jagger, doesn't
Yes,
it?
me too. And we're really offering some amazing things, and I would answer in two ways. I'm saying the same thing to our colleagues because those are our first customers.
Yeah.
Our colleagues are our first customers because they are the more important, because they are the one delivering product, delivering the service, and ensuring that our local customer, international customer, are going to have a flawless experience in our complex. So
that's right.
I think it's going to change the entire country.
Fantastic.
And thank you, under your leadership, that we are where we are today.
Oh yeah, I paid him to say that. But yeah, thank you. Thanks, Alex. Okay, but you're not going to get away that easy.
Yes.
Because you're in the hot seat, right? So I hope you don't mind me.
No.
I've got a couple of rapid, quick-fire questions for you.
Sure, shoot them.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just off the top here.
Yes.
So what's your favorite dish on the new Cinnamon Life menu?
My favorite dish on the new Cinnamon Life menu will be the club sandwich.
The club sandwich, yeah.
Because
I can vouch for that because I've had a lot of lunches.
Because
this man likes his club sandwich.
And I tell you more, a club sandwich defines your executive chef.
Yeah.
There's three elements when I go to a hotel and I know if the executive chef and culinary team are good: is the club sandwich, the Caesar salad, and the omelette in the morning.
Fantastic.
And by those three simple items if your property has a superb culinary leader, which we do.
Yeah.
And I look forward to inviting you to the club sandwich because we're going to have a special bacon, especially imported from Canada. It's called the pea meal bacon that gives a sweetness and a cracking to the club sandwich.
There you go. And double fries with that, I take
Double fries, of course, and whipped handmade mayo with garlic, a garlic mayo.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
There you go. This man doesn't love his food, does he? So what's the best? So going from food to ambiance, to environment.
Yes.
So what would you say is the best sunset spot?
Our best sunset spot will be on level 10. It's our party pool.
Yeah.
We have a party pool planned overlooking the beautiful ocean where we're going to have sunset cocktails, shishas, DJ nights, martini nights. It's an adult pool that turns itself from the afternoon into a party ambiance in the evening, ladies' night, gin martinis, cocktails, rosé by the glass. We are developing a wine list, superb wine list, superb wine by the glass program. But on top of that, we're going to have a selection of 15 top rosés from around the world available by the glass and by the bottle around that party pool.
So we're set, right? We got the club sandwich, we got the rosé.
You're set.
We're done.
You're done.
Fantastic. Now, okay, so the last question, and in one word, and I know that's not easy for you, Alex.
Okay.
One word. But what is the one word? How would you describe Cinnamon Life at City of Dreams, Sri Lanka?
Spectacular.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and an honor. Exciting to have Mr. Alessandro Aldo Cabella here in the seat with me at our very first Cinnamon Life Presents podcast. It's been great.
Thank you, Michael.
Enjoy the show.
Really enjoyed it.
And let's have a lot of fun.
And looking forward to do this again.
Absolutely, my friend.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care. So thanks for joining us at our very first Cinnamon Life Presents podcast here with Alessandro Aldo Cabella. Please do get a chance to subscribe to us, and we look forward to having you back in an episode in the future. Have a great day.